Yo, what's up, everybody? This is D-Trav, also known as Darren Travis, and welcome back to KnicksatniteTv. Let's do it.
Cornet to force the turnover. Trier spins. Alonzo Trier with a beauty. Amazing grace in their face.
Norvell's a good defender. Norvell's a tough kid, but Norvell gets abused.
He's St. Mary's, all right?
Morris with the crossover on Baker. Big fella moving his feet well.
All right, y'all. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here, but I've been real busy with I've been playing ball myself. So this summer I played on a couple summer league teams. This summer, we got to the championship games and we lost, unfortunately. But I've been busy playing ball myself. But I didn't forget about you guys, and I did not forget about the Knicks, of course. The Knicks are always on my mind, and let's get into it about New York Knicks and what's going to go on next year with the New York Knicks. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about is the starting lineup. These are my preseason predictions for the New York Knicks and the starting lineup. All right, as far as the center position goes, I say Mitchell Robinson. We don't have much depth at the center position this year, unlike the last couple of years. DeAndre Jordan has left and signed with the Brooklyn Nets. So, but Mitchell Robinson, he's young, he's very athletic, he's out there to block everything. If he could work on his handle and his jump shot and a couple of post moves, he'll definitely be unstoppable. Even just a little mid-range or three-pointer just to keep the defense honest, because everybody knows he's going to do the pick and roll and go for the lob. So now he's got to expand his game year two. But with that being said, I said Mitchell Robinson deserves to be the starting center for the New York Knicks. Now, let's go to the power forward position. I think this is the most guaranteed spot. Yes, we have a lot of forwards on the roster as we have Portis, we have Taj Gibson, who's a vet, we have Marcus Morris, and a couple of other guys. But I believe that Julius Randle is a guaranteed lock and start for the Knicks at the power forward position. He did his thing last year with the New Orleans Pelicans. He's probably going to be our leading scorer this year for the Knicks. So at power forward, I got Julius Randle. I'm going to get into the points predictions after I do the starting lineup. So now let's get into the small forward position. This is where it might be a little controversial because I know Kevin Knox was drafted very high. He was a good player last year. I won't say good. He was decent. He struggled a little bit last year, and I would like to see a little more from him. He seems to disappear a lot in games, and that's one quality in a player that I do not like. With that being said, I think the Knicks are going to improve this year as far as their winning percentage, as far as the games they win, and they might actually be fighting for a playoff spot this year. So with that being said, I think that Kevin Knox might lose out the small forward position to the newly acquired Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris, I say, will be a good fit to start at the small forward position. So because he has great defense. He's a good defender. I won't say great, but Marcus Morris is a good defender. He's also a vet. He's strong. He's not fragile. He has good offensive skills. He can space the floor. He can post up. He can play bully ball. So basically, he's like a Carmelo Anthony light, I believe Marcus Morris is, because he could do all the same basic moves that Carmelo Anthony can do, except for he won't score at a higher rate like Carmelo, because obviously he's not going to take as much shots, and he has better defense. So I say to start off the year, I think Kevin Knox should come off the bench and then earn his way if you want to start at small forward. But other than that, I think Marcus Morris is a good fit to start at small forward for the Knicks. Now, let's go into shooting guard. At the shooting guard position, I say we have Wayne Ellington, we have Damian Dotson, we have Alonzo Trier, we have RJ Barrett, who we drafted this year. With that being said, I like Damian Dotson. When Damian Dotson got drafted 2 years ago, I was one of the fans or people who was going hard that said the Knicks should draft Damian Dotson because he's a 3-and-D guy, right? He can hit the three, play solid defense. But with that being said, I think we need more scoring at the 2 position than just the 3-and-D guy. So the scorers we have at the shooting guard position are RJ Barrett and Alonzo Trier. Alonzo Trier, you can see, they call him ISO Zoe. He's a natural born scorer. He has handle, he can get to the basket, and he shot the 3-point shot at a high clip last year. So with that being said, on last year's work, Alonzo Trier could be the starting shooting guard, but because RJ Barrett has star potential in this league, I must say to begin the season, RJ Barrett will start at the shooting guard. He was such a high draft pick. You got to give the kid a chance, in order to lose the position. So RJ Barrett will start at the shooting guard this year. He's 6'7". He's a little bit bigger than Alonzo Trier. So 6'7". He might grow a little bit more. He's still young. And, it's good to have size at the shooting guard position. He can post up. He needs to work on his jump shot a little bit, and going right a little bit more, finishing with his right. He says he's right-handed. I saw him in an interview with Stephen A. Smith saying that he was right-handed, actually. Well, if he's right-handed, he needs to, learn how to get a quicker first step. That's one thing I saw about RJ Barrett is that he has those long steps when he gets to the paint where he can get to the basket and finish, but his burst of speed to get by his defender is a little bit slow. So if he can learn how to get a little bit more explosive and get a quicker first step where he could get that separation on his first move away from the defender, then use his long steps to get to the basket, I think that will be better. And also working on his right hand and his jump shot. So starting up the season at the 2 position, shooting guard, we're going to have RJ Barrett. Now, the point guard position, I also think is a lock. Some people may think that, I'm going to just say this straight off the bat. Frank Ntilikina has no chance at all at starting for the point guard position for the New York Knicks. Obviously, I'm surprised that he's still on the roster. I know he's still young. People are going to say he's young. Give him a chance. I think this is the last year the Knicks should give him a chance, honestly. I've been watching the games over in France. He plays the same exact way he plays 2 years ago. He's very timid, or he just passes the ball. He doesn't have that dog in him that we need. He's a good defender, adequate defender. But at the end of the day, he just doesn't have what it takes. So we're going to cancel him out from even challenging for the point guard position. So that leaves 2 other guards we have. Dennis Smith Jr. and Elfrid Payton. With that being said, Elfrid Payton is a good player. Every night he's a threat for a triple-double, but he's very inconsistent. I can't say that Dennis Smith Jr. is consistent himself, but he has more explosiveness, and you can see the superstar potential in Dennis Smith Jr. He has a chance to be like a Russell Westbrook type, a John Wall type. He's very fast, he's very explosive, and not much guards in the NBA can stay in front of him. With that being said, I say Dennis Smith Jr. is going to come into training camp and destroy the competition. I've seen that he's been working on his jump shot this summer, which is basically what he needs. And Dennis Smith Jr. would be the starting point guard for the New York Knicks. So let's get a recap real quick. At center, starting for the Knicks when the season starts, we're going to have Mitchell Robinson. At power forward, we're going to go with the big beast, Julius Randle. At small forward, Marcus Morris will start over Kevin Knox at the small forward position. At shooting guard, we got RJ Barrett started out for the shooting guard position with the New York Knicks. And then at point guard, of course, we got the up-and-coming star, Dennis Smith Jr. Now that we got into the starting lineup for the Knicks, let's go into stats. Why I think the Knicks have a good chance of making the playoffs next year, it depends on these two players that I'm going to mention right now, which is Julius Randle and Dennis Smith Jr. Last year with the Pelicans, Julius Randle averaged about 21.4 points per game with an average of 8.7 rebounds per game. I see that average going up. I've been watching all the open runs with Julius Randle this summer, and the kid is a beast. You won't believe he has handle. He's 6'8", 6'9". He has handle. He can play bully ball just like Carmelo. Very strong. Not much people want to get in the way when he goes to the hole. He's basically what Zion Williamson was in college, but he's a better player. He has a better jump shot than Zion Williamson. So all those who was crying about Zion Williamson, you're going to be surprised this year about Julius Randle. So with the opportunity that Coach Fizdale and the confidence that Coach Fizdale is going to instill in Julius Randle, I could see Julius Randle potentially being an all-star this year with the New York Knicks. So that points per game is going to jump up from 21 points per game to about 26. I say he could average about 26 points per game with an average of 10 rebounds. So mark Julius Randle down for 26 and 10 this year. Like I said, I'm amazed with his jump shot. It's a big improvement. He's been working on it all summer. And all the open runs have I seen him watch, he's been pulling threes, step back threes. And it's like the kid doesn't miss. I literally watched an open run, Rico Hines, I believe his name is, open run, where it wasn't edited. They were showing misses and makes. And literally, Julius Randle did not miss a three. He was just coming up court, pulling in people's faces. He was hitting step backs, hitting open threes. So if he could bring that to the NBA, then boy, he's going to be a problem next year. And I say he's locked for an all-star. Now, let's go to Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. is another player for the Knicks who I've been watching all summer, working on his game, training hard, and his jump shot has got better. I'm just saying, if these two guys' jump shot is better, they're going to be literally unstoppable. Dennis Smith Jr. is a really explosive. Like, he has one of the highest verticals in the NBA. His first step is untouched by most. And he needs to work on his decision-making a little bit. But other than that, if he gets his jump shot down pat, this kid is going to be a problem this year. Will he be an all-star also? I'm not sure about Dennis Smith, but I said his numbers is going to improve drastically. So it depends on where the Knicks are at record-wise. If they're high up as far as like a second or third seed, I can see the Knicks getting 2 all-stars in. If not, then we're only going to have Julius Randle. But Dennis Smith Jr., he averaged 14.8 points per game last year, and his assists was at 5. So that's about 15 points he averaged last year. I'll say Dennis Smith Jr. this year is going to up that by 3 to 4 points per game. So let's give Dennis Smith Jr. around 19 to 20 points per game this year. And let's get the assists up to 8 assists a game. So 19 and 8 for Dennis Smith Jr. Hopefully we see those improvements. Dennis Smith Jr. will be a strong candidate next year for the most improved player. Watch out for Dennis Smith Jr. getting the most improved player next year. 6th man of the year, I'm going to have to go a candidate for the 6th man, Alonzo Trier. If he improves on what he did last year, he was tremendous last year coming off the bench. Work on his game. His jump shot is good. Work on, playing off the ball a little bit, learning how to use screens, cutting to the basket, and finding his teammates. He can be a problem. He could be a Lou Williams type of player who was also 6th man of the year. So now let's get into my last subject, which is Carmelo Anthony. So, about a couple of weeks ago, Carmelo Anthony went on Stephen A. Smith. He talked about how he wasn't getting picked up with any NBA teams, and he felt it was more than basketball. He don't know what's going on with the NBA GMs, and he doesn't know what's going on with the front offices. He feels it's more than just basketball why he's not getting picked up. With that being said, I have to say that, you know, the NBA has changed from when Carmelo first came in. He's older now. He's not as quick as he used to be. And he's not that very efficient from the three-point line. Right now, you know, at the amount of minutes they would give Carmelo Anthony, they would look for a 3-and-D guy to fill that position. Carmelo Anthony is used to scoring very inefficient. You know, he takes a lot of shots, and I don't know if he's coming off the bench, if he can accept that role. But if he does accept that role, he is absolutely right. There is a whole bunch of players in the NBA that Carmelo Anthony is playing with. That Carmelo Anthony is actually better than. He actually worked out with the Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets a couple of days ago. To be honest with you, I would take Carmelo Anthony over Frank. I'll cut Frank Ntilikina in a minute and put Carmelo Anthony on the team. But with that being said, the Knicks are too deep at the forward position, so we really don't have a use for Carmelo Anthony. But I can see Carmelo Anthony signing with the Brooklyn Nets. Absolutely. Think about it. To be honest with you, I truly believe that the Knicks are going to have a better record than the Nets. The Nets are not that good. Kevin Durant is not playing this year. Kyrie Irving is going to be struggling to be the leader of the team by himself with no help. You got LeVert on the team, who should be the second leading scorer behind Kyrie Irving. But other than that, who on that team is going to get buckets and help them out? DeAndre Jordan really doesn't score that much. He's a good defender and a good rebounder. So I could see the Brooklyn Nets having a use for Carmelo Anthony. The only problem is if Carmelo Anthony goes to the Nets, you can see him looking at that roster and thinking to himself, half the players on this team is not better than me. Why shouldn't I be starting? So, you know, you don't want that to be a controversial within the next organization. But I think the Nets will ultimately sign Carmelo because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are vouching for Carmelo. And also, just the Nets is always worrying about the Knicks. I could see the Nets signing Carmelo Anthony out of spite just to say they did it and the Knicks didn't, because that's just the way the Nets move. Every move they make is based on the Knicks or trying to outshine the Knicks. So that's it for today's episode of the Knicks at Night TV. Feel free to like and subscribe. As that's Knicks at Night TV. You can catch me on Instagram.com or YouTube.com. All right, peace till next time.